Nait Campuses now have Naloxone Kits in case of opioid overdoses.
So someone who has had an opiate overdose has a heartbeat, but they're not breathing.
An Edmonton man attempts to beat the high score in a game of Donkey Kong.
Wild barrels, fireballs, there's pretty much everything that goes on in the game.
And there's a new bakery in town with their secret ingredient being crickets.
Less water, less land, less feed, they emit less greenhouse gases.
Good afternoon and welcome to Second Edition News. Nait has a new tool to protect students from overdosing on drugs.
The school now has Naloxone kits available on campus. The kits located around campus are used to reverse an overdose from opioid drugs. It works by blocking the effects of the opioids on the brain and restores breathing within 2 to 8 minutes.
So someone who has had an opiate overdose has a heartbeat, but they're not breathing. And so you have to establish that fact. And all of our peace officers, as well as all the registered nurses here at Nait, we've all taken the online course that's offered through Alberta Health Services.
These kits are located at health services on the main campus, Such and Patricia campuses. For more information or to take the online course, visit albertahealthservices.ca.
University of Alberta released its new budget on March 16th, and since then many students are protesting some of the rising costs. The budget change saw increases to both international fees and residence fees. They will rise by 3% and 4% respectively. As well, students are facing an increase of 16% for the meal plan. U of A Student Union President Marina Bannister is worried their concerns aren't being heard.
The response has been very minimal from the university, which we're disappointed in. Despite there being a protest with over 600 students in advance of the decision, there's been no formal response from the university administration.
Another protest is planned for this Friday at 1 p.m. in the Quad. After a devastating loss, the Rock and Roll Society of Edmonton is finally getting some good news.
All 5 autographed guitars that were stolen early Sunday morning have been found at a Calgary pawn shop. Sarah Mitchell has the story.
The Rock and Roll Society of Edmonton is a charity organization that helps at-risk youth through the power of music. Early Sunday morning, an unidentified person broke into the building and stole autographed guitars. 5 guitars were taken from the store, 3 with legendary autographs.
The 3 that were autographed were ones by Big Brother and the Holding Company. That is Janis Joplin's backing group, Sweeney Todd, Canadian Rockers, and Jefferson Starship. The guitars themselves were only valued at maybe $150 a piece, but the autographs made them invaluable.
Crawshaw says he was contacted by police and they're in the works of getting all the guitars back safely and are dealing with a suspected thief. The news of the instruments being stolen affect more than just the Rock and Roll Society. We reached out to local professionals and this is what they had to say.
It's always, disheartening when you find out that some guitars have been stolen, especially from a charity.
A famous musician will sign a guitar that the value goes up a lot. And so, yeah, it's great that they were found, but it's awful that they were stolen.
Crawshaw says his faith in humanity was restored when he saw the story reach over 2,500 shares on Facebook.
All 5 guitars have been found at a pawn shop in Calgary. The Calgary police have the suspect in custody, and hopefully the guitars will return to Edmonton no later than tomorrow afternoon. For Second Edition News, I'm Sarah Mitchell.
Even though spring is technically here, we might not be seeing warm weather anytime soon. According to Edmonton meteorologists, this week will be the coldest first week of April in 16 years. The cold weather has started to affect businesses that sell equipment like lawnmowers.
Well, certainly we're very weather dependent, and in our particular industry we typically have sales cycles that revolve around the weather patterns. So we have a winter sales cycle and we have a spring and a summer sales cycle. So clearly this year our spring and summer sales cycle has been delayed up to this point by at least 3.5, probably 4 weeks. So yes, we have noticed a difference.
This time last year, the temperature was well above 0, but this year we won't start seeing warmer weather until mid-April.
With the recent privacy scandal on Facebook, some people are wondering whether or not they should keep their accounts. Over 50 million people have had their personal information and photos hacked. Many users have been deactivating their profile over the scandal. Some NAIT students don't believe in the need to delete their accounts.
I don't know if I will ever stop using it because that's my way to communicate with friends in Saudi Arabia, Philippines.
Honestly, not enough for me to stop. I don't care enough.
I don't know if I will delete it, but I'll be more concerned about my info being out there for sure.
Facebook is introducing new privacy settings to help improve the safety of users' personal information.
The Tell Us World of Science could be home to a piece of history if an Edmonton man can beat the highest score on Donkey Kong. Jason Britton is determined to beat the current high score of Donkey Kong at the Tell Us World of Science's Popnology exhibit. He is currently ranked 4th in Canada and is determined to beat the 1,240,000 point record.
Right now it depends on the game. Like I had a game today with over 100,000 today, but I mean, like I said, that doesn't say anybody when you play Donkey Kong. So wild barrels, fireballs, there's pretty much everything that goes on with the game.
Jason fell short on the record on level 6. However, he is currently raising money to go to the Donkey Kong Championships in California next year.
An unusual ingredient is showing up in baked goods at a local bakery. The Kamola Sustainable Bakery offers items such as biscotti and granola bars with crickets in the recipe. But this bakery doesn't only use insects for the taste.
There is definitely a huge environmental advantage. Edible insects in general, not just crickets, requires a fraction of the resources compared to other livestock. Less water, less land, less feed, they emit less greenhouse gases.
With the success the bakery is having, they are planning to open a farm to create more of the cricket flour they use in the recipes in the fall.
The NAIT Sports Year has officially wrapped up here at NAIT.
And with curling nationals behind us, the Ooks teams are done for the season.
That's right, guys, but there's still plenty of action going on elsewhere. This year's Canadian Amateur Boxing Championships were held in Edmonton. The event featured youth, junior, and elite divisions for both men and women and hosted a total of 47 different divisions. For fighters in the elite category, winning your division meant becoming Canadian champion. For many, winning a national championship is the finale of years of training and hard work, but for some, it's just the first step.
We'll see if I could represent Canada. I know I'm Canadian champion, but we'll see if I can go on and pursue that because I'm still going to go for school, right?
The NAIT women's curling team is coming off a great year. The women picked up bronze medals in both the ACAC and CCAA championships, and a lot of that success is being attributed to head coach Jules Aucher.
Just amazing. He's my favorite person ever, probably. I mean, we come with the basics, and he just fine-tunes us to, and yeah, I give him full credit for the bronze medal we just won at Nationals.
Aucher, who has been with NAIT since 1969, has been named Canadian Women's Curling Coach of the Year. The coaching accolade and bronze medals fit right in on Aucher's resume, which includes 33 college championships, a Canadian National College Championship, multiple Brier medals, and a silver medal at the World Championships. Aucher is recognized as one of the best coaches in the game and has coached the likes of Olympic gold medalists Kevin Martin and Brad Gouchou. Aucher is currently en route to Las Vegas for the World Men's Curling Championships. Speaking of awards and accolades, NAIT will be having its annual awards night to honor the top athletes from different Ooks teams. The battle for NAIT Athlete of the Year may be too close to call, featuring ACAC men's hockey leading scorer Jake McKittick, CCAA women's basketball All-Canadian Kika Greenlee, and two-time ACAC men's badminton player of the year Imran Wadia.
It's been a really good year for NAIT athletics. Certainly we would have liked to have won a few more conference championships this year, but all in all, our programs are progressing in the right direction. We won a pair of national championships in badminton, we won a pair of bronzes in curling, and then I take a look at our ice sports, winning the regular season championship on the men's side, finishing second, the women finishing third in the ACAC this year.
Also going on in local sports, the Mini World Cup has taken over Edmonton indoor soccer centers. The Mini World Cup is an indoor soccer tournament allowing high-level players a chance to represent their country. The event features 6 divisions and representatives from over 32 countries.
both men's and women's over 35, and then they also do a heritage, which is for men's and women's Div 2 and lower. This way it gives some of the other people that may not make some of the regular men's and women's tournament, which will be held next year, gives them an opportunity to play this year, which is pretty competitive.
That's it for Second Edition Sports. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jake, and good luck to Coach Jules Ocher this weekend in Las Vegas.
The Ooks will be cheering you on from here.
This has been your look at Second Edition News.
Thanks for joining us.
Hello and welcome to Cooking with Ernest. I'm Connor Toffin with Chef Steve. And Steve, I love seafood, and there's so many different ways to cook it. And today we're infusing a classic seafood dish.
Yeah, we're doing shrimp flambe today. I call it high-end finger food, and this is gonna happen really quick, so hold on. We start off with a high heat pan. Add a little bit of oil. We're gonna do shallots. We're gonna do some ginger. We're gonna do some garlic.
So what kind of a flavor do those ingredients add to the dish?
This is like a Southeast Asian fusion with Indian and European. Everything is in this dish. We're just gonna do a pinch of the chilies. We're gonna mind the heat on this one a little bit. We'll give that a little stir around, get those flavors mixed in well, and then we're gonna add our shrimp. We're gonna leave the tails on the shrimp because this is finger food, makes it easier to cook, or easier to eat.
So what kind of a texture do you want from the shrimp?
Well, you want the shrimp to go from a translucent gray to an opaque pink, and it's gonna be nice bite to it, but not too rubbery.
Okay, so that's how you know the shrimp is done?
That's how you know it's done. It'll be nice and pink.
And obviously you're a pro, but for a college student, how easy of a dish is this to cook?
This is super easy as long as you know how to play with fire. We're gonna add an ounce of tequila into this. And let that on fire there. So we wanna make sure that the alcohol burns all the way down so you keep the flavors up and the alcohol low. Because alcohol does not taste good, but tequila does taste good. Add a little bit of salt and pepper, and then we're gonna put our butter in to make the sauce for the shrimp flambe. So as we're stirring this is basically a finished dish, and we're gonna start plating as soon as the butter's melted, because our shrimp, as you can see, is nice and pink, and it's all cooked already. So we'll plate now.
So what kind of a taste does this have?
This is garlic and shallots. Garlic and onions go great together. We're gonna add, all seafood goes great with a little bit of lemon squinched on top, and then we just have a little bit of garnish to make things look pretty.
Awesome, that looks so good. I might have to add that to my craft dinner diet. For more recipes like this, go to NateNewsWatch.ca and click on the Second Edition tab. I'm Connor Toffin here with Chef Steve. Thank you for joining us.